Hello and welcome to this SignalRadar webinar. The SignalRadar is our new live trading tool. Let's get started immediately. First, before looking at the different slides, let's take a look at the trading platform to agree on some terminology. The SignalRadar is a live trading tool, so it shows live trades being done by different trading strategies. These live trades, they are shown in the trading platform in tables. So when I use the word table, this is what you have to keep in mind. They are also shown in the chart, for example, here. And there is also mini charts available. What they do and what their use is, we will see later. But basically, there is the concept of tables, which are several examples here visible. There is the concept of charts, which are the main charts of the platform, and there are mini charts, which we see here. So now that we know a little bit of this terminology, what is SignalRadar? SignalRadar is a live trading tool which shows live trades being done by trading strategies. Well, which trading strategies? Well, these trading strategies are some of the 55 trading strategies in the NanoTrader. There's chart patterns in the NanoTrader, trading signals which are available in the NanoTrader, plus some strategies made or designed by famous traders. And these live trades, they are published in tables, we've seen them, and in charts. They are only visible in the charts if the tables are open at the same time. The main purpose of this tool is to find good trades and do similar trades. It's not finding the best strategy and copying a particular strategy. It's much more, and there are much more possibilities. And this will be the main topic of this presentation, is to look at how I can find these interesting trades and how I can myself do similar trades. The SignalRadar is available in the NanoTrader Free and in the NanoTrader Full. So in both versions of the NanoTrader's trading platform is the SignalRadar at the client's disposal, and it is first of all free, and secondly the versions are exactly the same. There also exists a web version, and it's also available as an app for the smartphone. The trading strategies which are doing the live trades, some of them cover swing trading. A lot of it are, in this case, stocks. Most of them cover day trading, or we have one strategy in 1 minute time frame, but most of the strategies are in time frames anywhere from 5 to 60 minutes. So mostly in the day trading area. There are no scalping strategies. You may wonder why, because we have very good scalping strategies in the NanoTrader platform. Well, the reason is that in the scalping strategies, the good trades, they only last maybe 1 minute, sometimes shorter, sometimes a little bit more, but they're very quickly gone. So they're not very useful either in doing a similar trade or in doing or in observing what is happening in the market. So if you want to do the scalping strategies, it's easy. You can open the NanoTrader Full, you can activate the scalping strategy, put it on auto order, and you can trade them automatically. But in the SignalRadar, they are not available because in the table there would either be no open trades because they're quickly closed, or some of the trades which don't reach their target, they are remaining open. And at that point in time, the casual observer to a table might think, what's a bad strategy? Is it never a winning trade? Either I see no trades or I see losing trades. So no scalping strategies. However, we have put in one scalping strategy called the Mad Rebound, which is a very good scalping strategy, just to give you a flavor of the results of this strategy and how it trades. So when we're in the platform later on, we'll have a look at this particular strategy, Mad Rebound, in a bit more detail. We have tables with CFD and Forex, and we have tables with futures. So depending on what the client trades, he will see tables trading CFD Forex or futures. The tables with the live trades from the SignalRadar are either free, which is the majority of the tables. There are some paying tables made by famous traders, and they are subscription based, and the subscription is very low. Actually, it's about €5 per month, and you have to take a subscription for at least 3 months. So 5 per month, it's really not a cost, it's really a contribution to the costs, if I can put it like that. Finally, for those listeners who are not clients at this point in time, you can also use a demo of the NanoTrader platform. SignalRadar is in there, and you have all the tables, including the free tables and the paying tables. Same story for the app. You can take the app, and you also have the free tables and the paying tables available in the app. Obviously, between the big version, if I can call it like that, in the platform and the version of the app, there's a big difference. For example, on the app, you can only see one table at the same time. You can't put them next to each other, for example, to look for consensus on trades between strategies. So now that we have covered the topic, what is the SignalRadar, then the question is, let's have a look in practice how it works and what we can do with it. So I'm going back now to the NanoTrader platform, and as I said, the live trades, they are available in these tables, and the question then is, how can I open tables? So in both the NanoTrader free and full, at the top here are the big button Synergy. Open the SignalRadar folder, and you can see the names of all the tables which are available to you. Double click on a particular table, and the icon in front of it will become green. So I can see that I have 3 + 2, 5 tables open, which are 1, 2, 3, 4, plus 1, which is reduced to a tab. I can click on it and look at it after that. There is no limit to the number of tables which I can open, so I can open all tables, I could open one table. It is your choice, there is no limit on it. So let's have a look at the different tables, and I first want to start with the little exception. I mentioned there are no scalping strategies. We put in one just to give you an impression, and this strategy is called the Mad Rebound strategy. And what we can see in this particular table here is the trades of about the last 4 weeks only of this strategy. And what we can see as general information, you also see that this table actually looks quite different than the other ones. It's just to show you the number of winning trades, which is this column here, versus the number of losing trades, and we can see that the ratio is actually quite good, winners versus losers. And we can also see the return of the trades on the DAX, the trades on the CAC 40, the trades on the Euro US dollar over the last 4 weeks. So plus 9.3, plus 4.3, plus 3.6. So it's a good scalping strategy, but it's not really suitable, and you will start to learn why when we go into more detail for this purpose. But nevertheless, we put one in just so you can have a look at it and have a feel for how a particular scalping strategy works. Let's take one of the tables, and each table has its name at the top. So here I have the Synchro table, the W0800 table, returns to trend, volatility riders, etc. The tables, the content, or rather the content of the tables, is determined by the publisher. The publisher can be us, SelfInvest, the broker, but we could allow third parties to publish their tables via the tool, the SignalRadar tool. So the columns are chosen by the publisher. However, the user can change by clicking and moving the columns, so we can choose how they are displayed, and it is also possible to sort by clicking on a column header, and at that point in time the sorting will be done. For example, I take here the name, and I will see here an alphabetically listed list of the instruments. Now notice that in this particular case, this first financial instrument, I can see it 6 times. 6 times, it means that in this table there are 6 trading strategies, and we can see their names in the study column. The names are here. 6 trading strategies who are trading this instrument. The same here, the same here. So this table contains 6 trading strategies, different trading strategies. Secondly, we have tables which only contain 1 trading strategy. They're a bit rarer. And we also have tables which contain 1 strategy but in different time frames. So these are the 3 possibilities: tables with multiple strategies, table with 1 strategy, table with 1 strategy but in multiple time frames. So let's take a look at the information which we have available. First column here, there's an icon which tells me, is it a short sell, is it a long, or is it no position like here. Secondly, the name of the instrument. Thirdly, the range. And the range tells me the current situation here where I have the black triangle, the target and the stop. So I can immediately see that this trade is evolving positively, still has some room to go. This got just beaten in return by another one. That's why they changed up and down to position. But I can see the distance to the target and I can see the distance to the stop. The mini chart, which opens when I go over the range, shows me the evolution of the profit. So we can see here, for example, this trade was a short sell. Let's say, why is there a red dot? The trade was always positive because the blue line is always above the black line, and we can see with the triangles the target, and we can see the stop, which is the red triangle, and we can see the current return in the little white label. These are then the current returns, 0.17%, 0.14%, etc. In parallel, it shows the time of the last signal. Usually when we have trades which are in the area of a bit above or a bit below 0, they tend to be fairly recent trades which are still developing. And you can see this in the time of the last signal. The last signal, if it's an open position, it will obviously display the time of opening. If it's no position, it's the time when the last position was closed. The name of the study we already discussed. Here I can, if I want to do a similar trade, I can do a right click and select an account. I can go in the direction of the signal. I could be a contrarian. I can also open a chart for this particular instrument, etc. So it's quick and easy to go via this right click button. Other pieces of information I have available are the entry, the stops, the target in more detail, and in this column here at the end I can click on this link and it will explain me, or it will lead me to an explanation of the particular trading strategy. So if you're interested in knowing more, click, you will come to a page and it will explain how the trading strategy, which is here, how this trading strategy works. Although it is not the objective to promote a particular strategy, I would say on the contrary, and we will go into that important piece of detail, what you can really do with the SignalRadar in a second. There is the possibility for the publisher to show a result, and for example here there is a strategy called WL0800, and this is for today only. It will show you on all the list of instruments. You've just applied the number of winning trades, the number of losing trades, and the percent return per instrument. If you would trade all trades and would trade all instruments, then this would give this particular return today for this particular strategy. But it goes beyond what is a good strategy, what is a bad strategy. It's much more useful. Few pieces of practical information before going to the charts. When here I have a position, it would color the background and tell me you have a position on a particular instrument, and if there are other trades open, I could see if they are going up in the return or down in the return. If I'm sitting on a good position or a less good position, good positions, they should be going up. Secondly, I can see when there is a light blue background, which would mean a new signal. I could also activate an alarm as well as a display alarm, so a pop-up. This allows me to switch a table on and off if for one reason or another I want to switch it on and off. There you go, you just click on the button. Now that we have seen the tables, let's take a look at the charts. And I have here a chart open, GBP USD, so cable, and I can see immediately that there are 3 dots. To activate the dots, I just have to click on this icon here, which is the synergy icon, and it will show me of all the tables that I have open, it will show me which ones have trades. Now, the first piece of information that we can see then is that there are 3 live trades on cable. We can see that there is one long position and 2 short positions. This is given by the color of these dots. The colors or the level at which they are placed will indicate to me, and I could, for example, either look it up in the table or I can just do a quick mouse over and have a look like this. It will tell me the entry level of this trade. By going on the particular trade, I can see the name of the strategy, 1 minute breaks, for example, breakout super trend, Larry Williams volatility breakout. By clicking then on the trader, it will also tell me where the stop is, where the target is of this position, and when it was entered. So in this particular case, you see that this background became bright red. We know that in this candle, and I'm on 60 minutes, so more than 1 hour ago, this position was opened here at this price level when it broke through this level here. So 2 shorts, but recently one strategy took along, although we have seen it's the 1 minute breaks. It's based on small movements. It has small stops and targets, so it's not necessarily a big reversal in and of by itself. It seems to be that it is more short oriented, 1 position taken here and 1 short position taken here. So in the charts we can see this information, and we know that in essence for the moment there are these 2 short positions which tend to be dominating, if I can say it like that. This is a short-term trading strategy, a little bit of an outsider, these 1 minute breaks. Also, by clicking on the particular trade, I can see it highlighted in my table, and I know this is the current trade. If I click on this one here, we see it's actually this trade here, which is currently at the top of the league in this particular table. As I mentioned, it's possible to place an order, and I can right click on this particular trade should I want to have the same levels of the stop and the target. I can pick an account and I can say, okay, add contingent orders, and at that point in time I just do it again and activate the account. So I've selected my account, I right click, I want to do like the signal, i.e. not be a contrarian, and I would ask for the platform to place the order. So now we could, for example, do the following, do sell stop order when it breaks out again, and then if we would be triggered on this order, the platform would place at that point in time our target here and our stop here. I can obviously do it without these contingent orders and just place my order and manage it myself if I don't want to copy a particular strategy, which is in essence, again, we will come to that in a second, which is in essence the main objective is not really to copy one particular strategy. So we've seen the SignalRadar, we've seen all these trades which it's doing, and on different strategies and by on different instruments. We also have stocks tables for those who are interested in stock trading. Let's now take a look at how we can find interesting trades. Before I dive into this, let's say, main topic and usefulness for the trader, I have to say a few words about WH SelfInvest. So WH SelfInvest, we are a broker particularly for active investors, people who trade, and we are very well known for our very high level of service. The company was founded in 1992, which means it's 20-year anniversary this year, and we trade, or we offer the possibility to trade futures, forex, CFD, stocks and warrants. We have offices in Netherlands, France, Belgium, Luxembourg, Germany, not on the slide, but also an office is Switzerland. We have the in-house trading platform called NanoTrader. We've also seen it, so we just saw it before. Plus, we have a few other platforms available which people can use, the MetaTrader, for example, Sierra charts, multi-charts, etc. We have won numerous awards, and I would say besides winning these awards, what is more important is that we are consistently winning awards over more than a decade now in the futures area, very strong, also very strong in the CFD Forex area. Now let's get back on track and let's back to the SignalRadar, and then the question is, how can we find interesting live trades and do similar trades? So the first one, which I already mentioned, but I sort of split it from the three other possibilities, is to focus on one particular trading strategy. In a certain way, this is reducing the SignalRadar to the minimum, i.e. not exploiting a huge part of the potential of the SignalRadar. But if for one reason or another you're a fan of a particular strategy or you're a fan of a particular trader, well, you can just open that table, focus on that particular table. The three other possibilities, you will see we go much broader, and we are not focusing on strategies, we are focusing on, first of all, consensus. Indeed, the second method of trying to find or finding good and interesting trades is by looking for instruments which have at the same time several strategies with similar positions. To put it in a simple way, if you would look at the chart and you see 4 of these green dots, meaning 4 strategies over some last period of time opened long positions, well, that's interesting. If you have 3-4 dots, meaning all the strategies are short on that particular instrument, that's also interesting. This would mean there might be an opportunity. Now, the reverse information is also true. If I would have, for example, 2 strategies long on an instrument and 2 strategies short on an instrument, well, that tells me that there is no consensus, and maybe then I should just not do anything from an opening position perspective for the time being on this instrument. I've taken a static image just to show an example. Here I have only 2 tables open. Like I said, there are much more tables, and you can open all of them, but let's just take a more focused view, and let's look for instruments with similar or with strategies which have similar positions. And I'm seeing here at the top of both, there is a long position on the FTSE 100, another long position at the same time by another strategy in another table on the FTSE 100, and here also there is a long position on the FTSE 100. So I see there are 3 long positions on the FTSE 100 opened at different points in time. The older one here earlier in the morning is developing well. This one was very recently opened, and it's still around the 0 level. This one intermediary opened is already up at 0.15%. So we see that the strategies have a consensus that of going long on the FTSE 100. So this is an example, but we look for instruments on which several strategies at the same time have positions in the same direction. We'll have a look in a second on the platform if we can find something live. Let's stick to this fixed static table. It's easier to look at for the time being. The second possibility is to even take a step backward and to find strength and weakness. Which instrument is strong and which instrument is weak? And again, by looking at this, and it's particularly easy, or it's particularly good to do this in Forex. Let's start here. When I look, I have euro against something, the yen, long, euro against something, the zloty, long, euro against the third currency, the Swiss franc, long, euro against the fourth currency, long, the dollar, another one here, euro, Swiss franc. So we can see already in this table there is a clear pattern that for my euro I can buy more yen, I can buy more zloty, etc. So a strong euro. On the other side, with the other strategy, we see here euro sterling, again long. So it's definitely clear here by looking at the times of opening, looking at the returns, but looking at these euros, that the euro is strong. The euro is strong. So first of all, if you are considering shorting, it is maybe not the best idea just yet. Secondly, the reverse, what you can do is to spread out the risk. You could say, well, I'm going to, normally I trade, for example, a standard contract 100,000. Well, I'm going to do it in a 20,000 here, 20,000 long here, 20,000 long here, 20,000 long here. And then I have several currencies against the euro. Some will develop stronger, some will slow down. I expand my good positions who are performing well, and I cut into my positions which are performing less good. Let's see if we can find another example. If I go into this table, well, I can see here on the left, sterling against dollar short, sterling against yen short. I have nothing here. Let's pop to the other side. Sterling against yen, also this strategy is short. We can also see another strategy short sterling. So we know that we can get less of the other currency for our sterling, meaning sterling is weak. So weak sterling. So at this point in time, it may be an opportunity to short sterling against different currencies. So this is the third way of using it. It's looking for who is strong, who is weak, and like a good sailor, to sail with the wind in the direction of strength or in the direction of weakness, but not to try and sail against the wind. The fourth method of finding interesting live trades in the SignalRadar is by not looking at the market price of an instrument, but it's by looking at the P&L of the positions. This brings us back to these mini charts, and let's just go back to the platform. The mini charts, to remind ourselves, are these charts when we do a mouse over the range here, and I'm just going to try and find one of a trade which are a bit older, that we have a longer line so I can show it to you. They're all recent trades actually, so we can see that the market or the strategies that they have actually gone long on the indices. There's already a message in there for us, but let's have a look here. Euro GBP, for example. The profit on this position, it's small, it's still far from the target, and it has really evolved sideways. Now, by not looking at the price, but looking at these P&L charts, a strategy, what does it think? It thinks when I'm opening a position, I expect it to go from the opening point to the target over a certain period of time. Depending on my time frame, this will be quick or this will be slow. But basically, a good trade should evolve from the entry point to the target in a fairly linear way. This is at least what the strategy is expecting. So a trade which is doing exactly that, which is going in a steady way up to its target, is a trade which is doing what the strategy wants. A trade which is moving erratically is not doing what the strategy wants, and we are not interested in those trades. So if we look at the trades which are already have some horizon on them, and let's take this one for example here, this trade is not doing what we expected. We would have expected it, according to its strategy, to go from where there is the green dot, for it to move to the green triangle, the target, which is about 1.2%, and it's just gone up a little bit, then it went down, and it's now going all the time sideways. So this is not an interesting trade to jump on, because this trade is not doing what was expected of it. So we would be interested in trades which move steady up to the target. This one still quite a long sideways, slightly up potential, not the best of examples, but I have not another one really to show you. I'm just looking at the dates of the signals in parallel. But you understand the point. You want to find a trade which does what the strategy expects it to do, meaning the P&L should evolve from the opening point to the target over a certain period of time in a certain steady way. So this is the fourth possibility of finding interesting trades and doing similar trades. Finally, let's do a quick recap then of the SignalRadar benefits. So first of all, it's free, although there are some tables which are paying, but as I said, it's really €5 for a table per month, so it's not really paying. You could call it contribution to the costs. But basically, it's free, most of the tables. And the first thing you can do it for is to find live trades. We have seen the 4 different methods which are doing well, and you can jump on these trades yourself. Secondly, you can see for every instrument or every market if the strategy is long, short or flat. Even when there are no positions on something, it's a message. Something is not being traded. No volatility, didn't break out of certain levels, etc. That means it's maybe not an instrument which is interesting to trade today. Like I said, in a certain way, some people, they focus on one instrument to trade. I only trade Euro USD, for example. In a certain way, this is like saying, I'm going to the forest and I want to shoot a particular rabbit. Well, if you look at the tables, you can go and you can find trades which are today volatile, instruments which are today volatile, others are volatile. We can see similar positions like we saw in my example of a strong euro, weak GBP. Then it's the day to trade GBP, for example, even if you don't normally do it. So the SignalRadar, it, like a radar, finds everything which is on the screen and it shows it to you. You have to take a little look at it and you have to fish out what are the good targets. So you can see what the strategies are doing, and keep in mind so that when they are doing nothing, there's also a message in there for the user. You can identify the main market trends very easily. We've done it together by looking at these different instruments. We saw the example of all trades suddenly popping up in live there on the short, on the European indices. So we have to find who is strong and who is weak. And the strong and the weak means ones that are moving up or down. And this is where we have to hunt not only one rabbit, but different rabbits or different even species, hinds and whatever. You can also observe professional traders and strategies. Some of these strategies which are in there, they are made by professional traders. Even in the free tables, they are well-known strategies, also some from literature, etc. and you can see how the strategies trade, how they work, and all this in real time. We've seen everything we've seen is the strategies trading in real time. Obviously, it's a good tool to improve your trading skills and let's say to trade on the basis of logic, not based on gut feeling or something in particular. There is a lot of logic that can be found in these different tables and what all these strategies are doing in parallel, and it's this logic that you want to take and use to your advantage. And the final point, I would say, there is an element of enjoyment. You can see all this happening in real time and in front of your eyes, what is trading, what is not trading, certain types of strategies, certain stocks which are strong, which are weak, etc. You can all see this. So this was the presentation on the SignalRadar today, and I would like to say thank you for your attention. And if there are no particular questions, I'm just looking. Okay, then I thank you for your attention, and I will hear from you next time.